Hi, my name is Tony Hu.
I'm Billion.
I'm Ronan Fu. I'm here to talk about
Taiwan's resilience.
China is unlikely to resort to military force against Taiwan during Trump's next term. They are extremely worried that in Trump's second term, he might continue to sell useful forces to Taiwan, and he might even maintain some high-rank official exchangement between Taiwan and the U.S. Actually, during the Trump administration, the arms sale from the U.S. to Taiwan is on the large-scale side. That sort of significantly enhanced Taiwan's national defense capability. Taiwan will be deemed as important to U.S. national leader, even from the economic side of the story. But in the case of Trump, his way of doing business as a very successful business person, Trump is trying to create some unpredictability so that, some people or some countries will get nervous, so that they will rush to Washington, D.C. asking, so what is the price tag I'm willing to pay? Right? So that's how basically the entire rationale behind the Trump administration and Trump himself in particular.
Big mistake. Every country will act to protect its national interest. Ukraine is the breadbasket of Europe. So it is actually a critical issue for the Europeans. But for the U.S. national interest, other than helping our friends, it doesn't directly affect the United States. Taiwan sits in the middle of the first island chain. If the United States can't protect its democracy, the prestige of the United States in Asia will be down in the drains. 23 million people on Taiwan is the United States' 8th largest trading partner. 8th. We do more business with Taiwan than the 1.4 billion people in India or France or United Kingdom or the huge country of Brazil. Don't use the Ukraine example or United States stayed out and all that stuff to compare with Taiwan. It's totally different.
Despite the fact that Trump talks about Taiwan in the sense of doing business or in a very, transactional way, which might, make a lot of Taiwanese people upset. But the silver lining, this person won't abandon Taiwan for no reasons. If he wants to abandon Taiwan, it must be the case that after some calculation, right? So if you think us as a commodity, yeah, so be it. We'll get ready. So we're not going to rob the bank. I think Taiwan is rich enough. So long as we can increase our military spending to 3 or maybe 3.5, I think we are pretty safe in terms of paying the bill, covering the bill. We can do that.
That is quite mild and unusual. Disinformation is not a new issue. Compared to open platform, it's much more difficult to do fact-check inside closing channel because that's an issue with echo chamber. People don't listen to other than the group. And people only listen to some opinion they are already agree with. I launched a project called CodeFast in 2016 with my partner Johnson. You can add a chatbot, you can invite a chatbot inside your closing channel. Let a chatbot fact check for you. Let a chatbot inside the closing channel and say, that's a fake content, that's a fake statement. We do have an intention to know something. Fact check is also one of aspects to know something in real, to know something by your own.
Actually, that is not true. Last year, CSIS ran Chinese invasion 24 times. Chinese failed every time. War game is a simulation based on a set of criteria, whether it's real or assumed. The physical pieces is World War II. Now it's using computers with inputs, most likely if it's tabletop. Based on these factors, computer will run it, force against force for 10, 20 times, give you a probability. But in the games that I played in before, we have a tendency of overestimating the enemy's capability while underestimating our own because we want the worst case scenario. What if the enemy is able to take off my GPS? I lost GPS, which is very difficult. How do you compensate? You go back to inertial navigation, accomplish the mission without a GPS, for example. The way we do war game is we don't fight the scenario, we fight the war. So the scenario sucked, you fight the sucky ass war. A lot of people just grab it. Oh, this is the outcome. Oh, and so and so lost. Well, so and so lost because of what? What was the assumption? When you run computer simulated stuff, garbage in, garbage out. The good thing is when you put in those assumptions, you can identify your weakness. If you lose, then you know this is a key factor that caused me to lose. I better do something with this. What other tactics will be more effective? So that's what we use the war games for.
It's quite brilliant, like they use some buzzwords. Promoting media literacy, actually it's quite accurate. People do need to aware disinformation exists. What we're trying to do is nothing like get rid of all this information. That is not a Taiwanese citizen could do. Since we are a country like value free speech and human rights, actually what we're trying to do is to do fact check to improve your media literacy or fact check skills.
Good. If they initiate blockade, that's an early warning. When they do that, I fully expect U.S. forces to be forward deployed. Then also airplanes will be carrying critical supplies landing. At that time, war's over because China can start. If China initiated blockade, there will be corresponding economic sanctions, just like Russian suffering. The Russian bank SWIFT code got removed. There's no international trade. And I fully believe countries like United States, Japan, and others might say, okay, your container ship, you're from China, you don't get to come into port. I stop processing your stuff. Stuff like that will cause so much damage to China during the period of blockade. Let's see who gives up first, right?
Do like it, subscribe, and
leave your comments below.